Well, I know the temperatures are warming up, but today is still one of those days where I'm glad it was inside. I mean, it was so foggy for like a big chunk of the day, and it's still cloudy out there.
We do still have some of the clouds, certainly some spots dealing with more cloud cover than others. And I do think some patchy fog will return to North Texas for tomorrow morning. Not necessarily the dense fog that we saw earlier this morning that led to some of those advisories and led to our first alert weather morning. Now, of course, we're just kind of dealing with some sun peeking through, and temperature wise, we're up to 72 for Dallas and Fort Worth right now. South wind at 14 miles an hour, gusting to 24. So it is breezy out there. Humidity has been increasing, the dew point up to 60 degrees currently, the visibility at 7 miles. So not at a quarter of a mile or less, which is what the dense fog advisory was issued for. Visible satellite showing the clouds still very prevalent, particularly to the south and east and kind of along the Red River as well. Remember, we had that warm front kind of lifting through North Texas. So if you are starting to see more of that sunshine, you've got those breezy southerly winds, then you know, okay, the front has lifted to the north of me. Denton is sitting at 71, McKinney's at 67. You've got the upper 60s along the Red River and even Bowie at 64 currently. But then Breckenridge is sitting at 84. You've got 75 in Fort Worth, 73 in Dallas, and about 77 in Corsicana right now. So heading into this evening, I do expect we'll kind of get a little bit of a break from that cloud cover, but it builds back in after midnight along with some of that patchy fog for tomorrow morning. Sure, if you get any of that fog, any of that cloud cover, maybe a little bit of drizzle or mist similar to what we saw earlier this morning. But when you look at the visibility futurecast, we're not seeing that visibility dropping below a mile. So you are seeing a little bit of fog, certainly some of the lower clouds, visibility down to less than 5 miles for some spots. But again, it doesn't look like the dense fog advisories are going to be needed for tomorrow morning. And then as we head through tomorrow afternoon, we are expecting some sunshine. But I will say tomorrow's forecast, as far as the temperature is concerned, it's going to be a little tricky because once again, we're going to have a front kind of rolling in. So as we get towards midday tomorrow, you notice that front starting to work its way in from the northwest. So if you are behind the front, the temperatures are going to struggle to get above 70 degrees in the afternoon. If you're ahead of the front, we're going to see the upper 70s and low 80s. So the farther south and east you are, that's where the temperatures are going to be warmer. We're kind of dissecting the mid 70s for the Metroplex. And then again, the farther north you are, that's where it's a little cooler with those temperatures in the upper 60s. Then overnight into Friday, this front kind of stalls out a little bit. So you notice that Friday morning, the farther west you are, we've got kind of a chilly start with temperatures in the low to mid 50s. And then the farther south and east you are, you've got temperatures in the mid 60s. That's a huge difference as far as how you prepare for your Friday morning. But once we get into Friday afternoon, we are expecting that front to once again lift back up to the north. And this starts a big warming trend. We've got upper 70s, low 80s for Friday afternoon. And then as we make our way into Saturday, we're likely going to break a record if this forecast holds. 87 degrees, our forecast high on Saturday. The record is 85. And then for Super Bowl Sunday, we welcome winter back to North Texas. And it hangs around through next week with some rainy weather as well. I'm not even going to talk about Valentine's Day. Just enjoy the weather now while you can.